Which part did you not hear?
Just, you might have to repeat it to them because I'm going to tell you that they were not focused.
No, y'all were definitely not focused. So, the author uses that particular quote, stating, "The secret is designing games that have really clear feedback so that you know when you're doing something well or poorly and why." And this is in the challenge section of the story. Why was that quote beneficial for this section? Now think back to sort of like the whole Super Mario or for any match 3 game. So whether it be any game that you win like stars or points with each level. I'm pretty sure there are some games you guys have played like that. Mainly they're like strategy games. So how does it feel when you don't get all 3 stars at the end of the level? What'd you say, DJ? Why? Because you didn't feel like you completed the level for not having all 3. How many of you would, because to be honest, I'm various depending on the level, how many of you would just go through just to at least get 1 star? Or do you have to get all 3? Okay, hold on. For those that feel the need,
Some levels, if it takes me a long time, I'm satisfied if I get the 1 star.
yeah.
But for some levels, if it doesn't give me my 3 stars and I thought I did an awesome job, I'll go back and play it and purposely try to get my 3 stars.
Yeah,
Because I get mad.
I feel the exact same way. I'm thinking like I spent all this time thinking I beat the level and I only get 2.5 stars. I want my other half.
Right.
I want my other half. So why is it that we have that need or desire to get all 3 stars? Yes.
Because we want the micro reward.
We want the micro reward. I do see how with some games, if you have like a certain amount of stars or a certain amount of whatever, you get to earn something. So yeah, that is possible because otherwise you could probably get that in, let's say, 10 levels, where as opposed to getting it in 30.
Satisfaction.
It is satisfaction. Yes.
For mine, I do what I use one of my mom's quotes. If you want the job, then you can't do it halfway. I use it for some of the things that I do.
See, that should be y'all's quote for everything that you do, not just with gaming. That should be with your schoolwork. That should be with doing your chores. That should be with, being a decent human being. The same. You can't do stuff halfway. Anyone else? So, hold on. Let me revert back. For those who feel like they are fine with just getting the 1 or the 2 stars on the level, why is that just enough? Yes. Say that one more time. That is true. We do go through a lot of frustration just to get them. And yes. That is true. You still do go. You are still able to go on to the next level. You are still able to go on to the next level, even without having your 3rd star, even without having the 2nd star. You're still able to go as long as you pass it and have at least. I've seen somewhere that you need at least half a star to continue on. Yes.
I just want to finish the game. If I feel like
Yeah.
I have a question. This kind of goes back to that long-term goal thing that we were talking about. How many of you feel like your goals are not high enough? And this is what I want you to think about. Think about it this way. How many of you, like this, I have a goal set for you. Each of you, I have an individual goal of what I expect out of you. Okay? My question comes down to, at what point are you going to start putting some hard goals on yourself? If you always settle for the minimum,
you can't
Are you ever going to challenge yourself to be more than you are?
And if you're only setting your goals minimum, don't expect to get like the maximum reward.
Right.
That's not how it works.
You know, it's kind of that whole, why do some kids make hundreds versus other kids that don't? Well, some kids make hundreds because of what they're doing. They're putting that extra something in there where other kids, you write the minimum. You do the bare minimum to get a passing grade, but that's all you're getting. Is that how you're going to live your life?
No.
Then you need to start fixing it here.
Start having that mindset now. Because once you go on to high school, college, your jobs, livelihood, I hate to break it to y'all, it just like that quote saying, it never gets easier, you just get better. It doesn't get easier. It may get easier over practice, but there will always be a new level to be.
You get in trouble for having B's. Some parents do have that standard for their kids. And I mean, that's between the parents. But my thing is, it's like this. I can stand up here and tell this class the same thing over and over again, like I do all the time. And there's some of you that will listen and go for what I'm telling you to do. But then there's a handful of you that just sit back and do the bare minimum and expect the same reward. I mean, if you really want to talk about lowering expectations, guys, I'm saying you've got to grow 1 point. Because here's the thing. I could put down everybody in this classroom has to grow 10 points on their map in order to get the reward. And there's some who will because they want it. But then there's some that are going to do the minimum and then when they don't get it, I don't care. I did grow, but I don't care. And you've all seen them in action. And it's y'all in here with me. You've done it to me. Oh, my parents don't care. You say that. But your parents do. There's nothing wrong with being strict. My parents were strict too. I will tell you, you'll come to appreciate it as you get older.
Yes. That's their household, unfortunately. But do know that this is like free advice coming from a college student. You guys need to learn how to study. Because I don't know if they're still going to do it for you guys in high school, where if you make a certain grade before the finals, you will exempt. Don't quote me. I don't know if that's changed, but it's been a year since I've been in high school.
You can still exempt finals.
Oh, you can? Okay, so if you
you
make a certain
like
grade,
A's, I think it used to be you make an A
yeah,
and have one absent, you can exempt the final.
yes, you can't have no more than the maximum amount of absences, plus you have to at least have an A in the class. You can exempt. Please know, I've known some of my classmates who exempted all their finals, every single one of them in high school. But when it came to college, their high GPA dropped because they forgot how to study. They didn't know how to study when it came to their classes. So that 3.8, 4.0 GPA dropped down to like a 2.7.
Do you want to know something? So we had a meeting, you were in here for this meeting. We had a meeting the other day, and we were talking that even colleges and we as teachers have had to dumb down education for y'all.
Yeah.
Because if we really challenged you and pushed you, y'all would break. Not because you're not smart, but let's think about it. You straight up asked me at a basketball game about your connections class. And I, word for word, told you what you had to do. But you haven't done it. That's your goal. You haven't done it. There's other kids that have been in that same connections class They didn't try, and it shows. And then I've got some that are improving, and it shows. I can stand up here and give every kid the right answer to something, and I guarantee somebody's not going to listen and do what they need to do. That's on you. That's on you. We've dumbed down education. We've given you extra 100s here and extra 100s there because, heaven forbid, we made you work. Because think about how much you complain now. Like Mark over there and Cohen are having the best time. My goal for them is in the toilet. I don't have, like, if they make an A, whoops, yay. Why? Because Mark and Cohen don't try. Sanaa makes an A, I jump for joy. Why? Because Sanaa works her butt off. My thing is this. I want you interact with me when I'm talking. I want you to interact with each other when you're talking. We're watching the whole time. No, I don't grade based on whether I like you or not, because if that was the case, you know some of you definitely would be failing. I grade based on your work. But I had a kid last week, this is a prime example, who made a 60 on their vocabulary test. Yes, they failed, but you know what, this kid, I cried, I was so happy. Let me tell you why I cried, because I was so happy. This kid had been making 20s and 30s on their vocabulary test. And this kid finally made a 60. To me, that's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge accomplishment. I had another kid who made a 95, and she was so excited. I studied for this one. I said, you study. Whether you study or not, and studying 5 minutes before you take the test doesn't mean you study for the test. What Miss Jones is telling you is the truth. You can get out of your finals in high school, but it's going to hurt you when you go to college. And they're dumbing college down because we all have those parents, and I'm not saying any of your parents, but please know it's not your parents, that go, well, why don't you give my baby a C? Your baby earned a C. I didn't give it to them. They earned it. How many of you know there's those people that do that? Why did you, I love when it's, why did you give my child this? Oh, I didn't give your child nothing. That's what they earned. Why, Miss Ash, why did you give me an F? You earned it, baby. I didn't give it to you. Yes.